and we should be live. Hello guys, thanks for tuning in. This is my first proper live stream. Some of you might have been on the little test one, so similar setup to before, a little bit sketchy, but you can let me know if you guys can hear me okay and sounds alright, and we'll work through any issues we have as we go along. So I can already see some of you in the chat here. We have a few people on. Phil's watching. Phil from Love the Barbecue. Thanks for tuning in, mate. How sunny is it in Northern Ireland? It's not actually that sunny. We get spells of sunniness, but it's pretty cloudy over at the minute. It's not forecasting rain for a change, so hopefully it stays that way. But cloudy is good for camera stuff. We have Dave tuning in, Smoking Elk, oi oi. Richard in Surrey, Ian in Newcastle, and Phil, of course, is in Reading. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay, and then we'll kick off for the rest of it. Chris says it sounds perfect. Brilliant. Right, so the plan today is to do a couple of different things. Well, we're going to make wings, but I want to chat a bit to you guys as well. So there's two kinds of wings we're going to do. Hold on. So these ones here are going to be my favourite kind of wing, which is both of them have been brined in buttermilk for around 4 hours or so. So I'm going to do these with one of my favourite rubs, which is the Plowboys Yardbird rub. We're going to do them in the KJ, and then we're going to toss them in Frank's Red Hot Sauce. So those are my favourites. Those are the ones I always go to, and we're doing a little bit of an experiment as well. So I didn't want to do an experiment then be horribly wrong and end up with no wings to eat. So these are the backup plan. The experiment is something I've had in my head for a little while. So it's going to be a play on Salt Chilli Chicken. So they're going to be like a salt and chili chicken wing. So these have had the same treatment in the buttermilk. They've been steeping for around 4 hours again. I've lifted them out and then I've tossed them in a seasoned flour. The flour is just a mixture of plain flour and a little bit of baking powder and one of the new rubs from the Smokey Carter. So this is the Chinese spice rub. And this has pretty much all the flavours in it that you would normally get in salt and chili chicken. So that's going to be the experiment. I have no idea if these are going to work. They could be throw in the bin material if they don't work. So we're going to give both of these a go. So we'll jump down through. Dutchy Cooking's tuned in. Kevin and Rooksy here and hearing you good. Good man. Dutchy Cooking says not hearing or seeing anything, just time down clock. Oh, it should start hopefully for you, mate. Nicholas says hi everyone. Right, so we have people online, which is a good one. Right, so first thing to do really is get these seasoned up. The Kamado Joe is fired up. I have it sitting around 200 degrees or so. Again, to get nice crispy skin on wings, sometimes you want to go really hot. I found that 200 degrees area in the KJ to be perfect. So these have been sitting out, as I said, they were soaked in buttermilk, and I lifted them out and actually sort of wiped off a lot of the excess. I've left a little bit on there to act as a binder. Give them all a flip over. And so out of you lot, who's cooking what today? So the weather's got pretty good across the UK. Steve Hamilton says 200 F or C, 200 C. I tend to always work in C. I know I write for an American magazine as well and have to convert everything into American measurements, which is a bit of a nightmare for me. But I tend to always work in Celsius. you know, Dutchy cooking's got it. Happy days, mate. So let me know in the chat where you guys are cooking from, or what you are putting on today. Hopefully you're all out in your backyards enjoying the good weather. So I'll let those sit for a second and soak up the rub before we put them on. As I say, I've already done these ones with the flour, so I'm not going to touch them. They were an absolute mess to make. I don't want to do that live on camera. Give me a second to clean my hands. So don't know if you guys can really hear me that well whenever I stand back here, but I have a new microphone wired up today, and hopefully it's a little bit more sensitive and picks up stuff. My problem is it picks up all the neighbours' noise as well. So, who's doing what today? Only slagging ribs tonight. What do you mean hopefully tonight? It'll be grand, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Steve Hamilton just got a Broil King keg, and they talk F always. I know it can get a little bit confusing switching between Celsius and Fahrenheit. I try to always go with Celsius, but then if you're watching somebody else's video and they go Fahrenheit as well, it's a lot of effort to list them all out. Don't know what gas mark is in a charcoal barbecue. Chris Rob is going to try chicken drumsticks with a Vortex. Vortex, another great way to cook wings, so definitely they'll be great on chicken legs or chicken drumsticks. Steve Hamilton, I have a Wagyu rib, very nice. Probably for tomorrow, hoping to do it justice in my new equipment. Yeah, you'll smash it, just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Dutchy says it's overcast in Nottinghamshire. It's the same here. There is patches of blue sky, so when they come through, if the video gets really bright, apologies. Smoking elk, hungover today big time, but cooking chicken later. Yes, so I was planning on promoting this later on, but now seems like the perfect time. Smoking elk is doing a cook along at 4 o'clock. I've been chatting with him about it, and if I click here and then click here, so this is over on the stories. He's got one of his highlights pinned. I'm going to flick through. He has a list of all the equipment you need. So is the equipment here that you need to cook along with him at 4 o'clock. It's all pretty basic stuff. Most of you should have it. He's doing bone-in chicken thighs, so if you can get your hands on some of them, or if you have some in the cupboard, go for it. And then he's doing some he's doing a basic salt and pepper one if you don't have a lot of ingredients. I know stuff's hard to get the hold of at the minute. And then you can flick over and he has some basic rubs, so Mediterranean rub, a Moroccan rub, and a Cajun rub. So you can go on to his highlights on his Instagram and get all the ingredients you need, and then you can come back and have a cook at that. So definitely give that a try. He's on at 4 o'clock over on his Instagram, so you can try that out. So we'll get these wings on without any further ado. Close this down. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep them separated on the barbecue, and we will let's see if I can pause this chat so I don't miss anybody. Right, so I'm going to stick these on now. Again, deflate the plates around these are going on full indirect. I have a couple of apple chunks in there as well, but there's just the finest little wisp of smoke coming out. You don't want tons of it, so I'll put them on and we'll get them cooking. The one thing I will say, I have oiled the grates for these ones because I'm expecting them to stick quite badly. The other ones shouldn't be too much of a problem. guys need to remind me to turn these, because if I get lost in the chat, we're in trouble. We're going to have to flip them over after a little while. I haven't quite figured out angles. I can't get multiple angles. I'm used to moving the camera about to let you guys see what I'm doing. Alright. I'll close that down, let it do its thing for a little while. Let's go through some more of the comments. Grump has a 2 kilo sirloin joint on the rotisserie. Very nice, mate. We doing it, is it on a kettle or a Kamado Joe? What are you cooking on? Who else have we got? Black Dog, Hirsch, Holmes Chapel, sun's out ish. I would describe that as the same here, mate. Kevin Silk, just homemade burger. What do you mean just homemade burgers? You can't beat a homemade burger. And some turkey burgers. Don't know, I've never tried turkey burgers before, so I don't know what they're like. Dutchie's doing tandoor chicken and tikka masala. Very nice. Simon Lee has tuned in. Nice to see you, mate. Dutchie cooking, where in NI are you? Close to Ballymena. So I'm in the Antrim area. But I don't think it matters where you are in Northern Ireland. Pretty much all get the same weather. Cloudy with the odd sunny spell and lots of rain. What else have we got? Only slagging. Tell me more about the last batch of wings you put on. Do you mean the coated ones? Those are the experiment ones, mate. So they have been soaked in buttermilk for a little while, and they're tossed in the seasoned flour with some of the Smokey Carter salt and pepper rub. We're going to try and turn them into salt and chili wings. Try is the key term there. Graham Bell, any ideas on charcoal? I'm down to my last bag. Oh mate, it's a struggle. Well, I opened my last bag of the Kamado Joe Big Block this morning. Hopefully it'll last me a little while. I have a few other odds and ends of bags kicking about, but if anybody can help me out, put it into the comments. Let us know who you are, Graham. I'll try and get you some sort out. I'm sure somebody will be able to help you out. I don't. Most of the places my work is shut down completely, so I can't get any charcoal out of there either. Dave Johnson's doing a Kelly Bab. Hard to beat a Kelly Bab. Let me see. Dutchie cooking. James going to pinch your idea for hand washing instead of top of my tandoor when it's not in use. Yeah, I didn't want to run in the house while you guys were sitting waiting for me to come back, so just fill the bowl with soapy water. That'll do the job. What else have we got on? You ever try heat beads? I haven't cooked with them. I know Jim or Only Slagging, some of the other guys from the Yankees and stuff have cooked in heat beads as well. They are similar to the Weber briquettes. So if I'm cooking in my kettle, I tend to use the Weber briquettes. That's hard to say. I just have easy access to them. That's why I use them. I would have to go looking for heat beads somewhere if I wanted to use them. But all in all, I think some people have their preferences. I definitely think the Weber briquettes are good. There is other people out there who definitely prefer the heat beads. They seem to last a little bit longer. It take a little bit longer to get going as well. So everything has their advantages and disadvantages. So I'll check these wings just to make sure nothing's burning. Clean set of tongs. All good so far. Nothing seems to be sticking too much. So the plan is once they're ready, I'm going to lift them off, and the regular, my favourite wing, is going to be tossed in good old Frank's Red Hot Sauce. The second one I've actually made up a bit of a mixture using soy sauce and a few different ingredients, and that's going to add the sort of salt and chilliness to the experiment wings. Who else have we got on? Started a couple of 12 kg bags of charcoal from the chemical hut. A few days delivery, mainland UK. We have a massive problem over here in Northern Ireland trying to get stuff delivered. A little strip of water down between us really does cause some issues sometimes. Jim's asking to have a favourite side dish to go with wings. I tend to just throw them into a bowl and devour the whole lot. Sometimes I'll do a few dips and stuff along with them, but they tend to just be a snack for me, so I don't know if I really have an absolute favourite side dish. Recently, actually, for my the American magazine I write for, done a cook where I made chicken wing nachos. So they were, if you have leftover chicken wings, you can use that, but I never have leftover chicken wings, so I cooked up some chicken wings, made a load of homemade nachos, and shredded the chicken wing meat in through it. They were unreal. So maybe in future I'll try and do a video with that on the channel as well. So lots of suggestions for charcoal coming in, so hopefully some one of them will be able to sort you out, mate. Yeah, Jim says he uses Weber briquettes or the KJ Big Block for them. KJ Big Block is definitely, I know there's a little bit of a mixed bag out there with it. Some people really like it, some people aren't so fussed on it. I am definitely in the category where I like it. I know there's a little bit of talk about there's the odd flavour issue with it, but I have never had it. I've had lots of, stop beating your horn. I have had bags from loads of different batches and I never seem to have got it, but maybe I've just been lucky with mine. Emily's tuned in. Hi, sorry I missed the beginning. Still trying to get the hang of this computer thing. How do you think I feel trying to get this broadcast out? A lot of this stuff kind of interests me, trying to get stuff wired up and doing a bit of live broadcasting, but it is not easy by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm just waiting on everything going up in smoke. Ryan G, hi guys, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Terry Whitmore just figured out how to sign in despite the name. This is Ted. I wondered, I recognised the surname, but I thought it was Ted. Nice to see you, mate. I can hear these wings sizzling. I'll give them another check. Give them all a flip over. It looks pretty good. I usually like to try and get one or two little like gnarly charred pieces on it, but they're looking tasty. So at this point, I'm actually gonna, the ones that we've covered with the flour, they tend to need a little bit of help to crisp up, so I'm going to spray them with a little bit of oil. Hopefully this doesn't erupt and smoke everywhere. This is just regular olive oil. You can brush it onto them as well, or if you've got a spray bottle. Just helps add a little bit of crispness to that coat. Close that down again. And catch up in the chat a bit more. So the reason I keep turning it, if you were doing these indirect in a kettle or whatever, you probably wouldn't need to turn them as often, maybe just once in the middle of it all. With the Kamado Joe, even with the deflector plates in there, you're still getting a little bit of radiant heat coming up. which to me is actually the secret of really good wings on the Kamado Joe, because they're kind of crossover between indirect wings and grilled wings. So that's why I keep going and checking them, flipping them over every now and again so we don't get too much colour on one side. Phil's asking, do I always use olive oil? No, that's the only one I had in a spray bottle. I've used olive oil. I tend to usually go with the Broiler Gold rapeseed oils. I have a few different flavours in them as well. The hickory smoked is probably one of my favourites. Love their chili oil as well. Great flavour off it. So no, rapeseed oil is another good one. Slightly higher smoke point than the olive oil, but for something like this where it's just spraying it onto the wings, I think it's okay to go with olive oil. So how long have we been on for? Half an hour. I'm not going too bad yet. So Ryan G says he's going to be doing some live stuff. I'm completely new to this. It's definitely something I need to get used to. I want to try and do a lot more of it. More time on my hands now, obviously for obvious reasons, but so we'll try and do a few over the next couple of weeks. If anyone was tuned into the last live stream we did, they may remember I announced a sort of free little mini course we're doing. So I've stuck up a little thing at the bottom of the screen here. If you want to give it a go, it's really just a series of emails that comes out to you every few days. I was going to share a few tips and tricks on how to get the most out of your barbecue. So if you're an absolute beginner, this sort of steps you through what you need to get started and teaches you some of the basic techniques that you need to actually get up and running with it. So those, if you sign up with your email address, you can it'll send out emails every few days just with a few tips and tricks on it. It'll share a few of the cooks from my channel that sort of let you practice those skills as well to develop them. Hopefully I've tried to choose recipes that are pretty easy to get your hands on stuff, because I know things are hard to get the hold of at the minute. Ted says the wing flour and other stuff to a degree has been an interesting topic lately. I seem to have settled on 1/3 each corn flour, flour and rub. So this is actually plain flour, half a cup of plain flour, half a cup of baking powder, and about 2 tablespoons of rub. I'll give these another flip, but I've done these actually on the channel before, and that was sort of measurements of flour and rub I used, and it seemed to work pretty well, so just gone with something similar. Again, a complete experiment, might not work. Starting to look good. I'm going to flip over those ones that are coated in the flour. Again, you're not going to get the same coating that you would normally get from like deep frying stuff, but definitely if you can get high heat, if you're using the vortex, it works really well too. So just give the bottom of those another little squirt with the oil. Another little while, they shouldn't be too far off. So, any ideas for tri-tip, James? I've never cooked tri-tip, mate. I can't help you out. I've always found it hard to get the hold of tri-tip over here. We've a lot of great places to get regular cuts, but I've never seen tri-tip anywhere. Doing thighs today on the egg. Any tips for a relative beginner? I have one amazing tip for a beginner who's looking to cook chicken thighs today, and that is to go and tune into the Smoking Elk. 4 o'clock today over on his Instagram. Elkie, if you want, you can leave a link over to your Instagram. I think you can post links in live chat. Put a link in there so everybody can head over and check your highlights out. But he is going on live at 4 o'clock today on his Instagram to cook chicken thighs. So definitely go over and watch that with him. So Chris, if you're a relative beginner, thighs are pretty easy to do. Tend to be indirect. Anything on the bone, you can give it a sear over the coals to get a nice char on it and move it indirect, or you can do it the opposite way and do a reverse sear. But so you can sear them over the coals and then move them opposite the coals to bring them up to temperature. Then that's the easiest way, and then it's all down to flavour. So Mark Fighter has joined in. Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us. Dutchy, do you have Booker's Cash and Curry? No, I don't think we have them over here, mate. Who else have we got? Mark Fighter and barbecuing tomorrow and using Phil Hoy's Kelly Bab recipe almost monthly. Yeah, Phil has some awesome cooks and recipes over on his website. I think it's lovetobarbecue.co.uk. Go and check it out, definitely. I know he loves the Kelly Bab as well, but there's some other amazing recipes on there, so you have to go and check them out. Phil Hoyle, not my recipe, but it's on his site, so I can't claim that one. Yeah, regardless, I'm sure it looks good on your site too. There, Chris is tuning into that. Go for it. You have to. Right, I'm going to give these a probe and see what they're sitting at. Wings, I always like to take a little bit higher. I know the whole 75 stay alive thing applies, but with wings and most bone chicken as well, I like to take them up into the 80s or even a little bit higher if they go. They tend to survive it fine. So I'm going to give them a probe now with a trusty old thermopen to see what they're sitting at and see how far off we are. All sitting in the 70s. Some of them are over 80, but I'm going to leave them be for a little while. Get the thermopen clean off from the soapy water. You guys don't know if you can see. Can you see that now? Probably not. It's they've definitely crisped up quite well. I'm just going to give them a few more minutes and they'll be ready to go. So I need to put out a warning as well. I put this out in my first live stream. Now the camera I'm using doesn't have a power supply, it's running off battery. I've tested it before and it lasts an hour, no problem. So if it cuts out and goes black, stay where you are. It takes me about a minute to change the battery over and we'll be back up and running again. So don't panic if it all goes black. We've got Chris, set your egg to 210, ready for 4. Good to go, mate. So now is probably a good time to grab the stuff we're going to be tossing this. So in this bowl I have absolutely nothing because that's where the wings are going to go, and we're going to toss them in the Frank's Red Hot Sauce, one of my favourite sauces on wings. In this bowl, you guys aren't going to be able to see it, I'll do that without it tipping out, but there's a mixture of I think it's 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and a teaspoon of hot chili powder, 2 large pinches of sea salt, and about half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm still playing around with that. I've tasted it not on the wings to see what it's like. It tastes good. It's not too hot. You can maybe go with a little bit extra chili powder in there. but remember you have a lot of flavour in the rub that's already in the flour. So we're going to toss the ones that have the flour on them in this. The other ones I think should be about ready. So I'm just going to lift them straight off and put them into the bowl. Move that to the side for now. One final check with a thermopan. Yeah, 88. 4. They're all spot on, so these are the ones just with the rub on them. And I'll leave them there for 2 seconds. So these ones here, you can brush the sauce onto them, throw them back onto the barbecue to set it, but if you get them off instantly and put the sauce onto them, you can toss it around and the sauce from the residual heat that's on the wings will set to them. So you can do this without spilling them over the yard. It just mixes them all together. One set of wings done. Now, the ones with the flour, I'm going to lift them off and put them on the rack and let them cool slightly. It just lets that coating set up, so whenever we toss them about in the soy sauce mixture, it doesn't all flake off them. So, get rid of that. A wire rack here, I'm just going to lift them off onto. Right, so let them sit and chill out for a little while. Catch up here again. See what you guys are saying. I can see Elkie talking about Stella. Of course Elkie's talking about Stella. This chat's so hard to keep up with. Where have I left off? You guys are all chatting amongst yourselves, you aren't even talking to me. So if you I thought I was going to do a Tommy Cooper joke with a bowl. I don't know what you're talking about. Would you normally do any cooking stuff with the wings? Not for me, I understand, but maybe for others who don't like heat as much. Obviously, do you mean, Ted, like doing non-hot wing kind of things, or I'd say I think again these are just my preference of wings. They tend to be what I cook most, but certainly I can have a go and put a video together with a few different bits in the channel if you want. Is that Mark? No butter? No, I don't add butter to them yet. Drilling here, James. I know I don't like Normally at this point in the video would be a little swoopy in B-roll section of what the wings look like. I don't even know if you guys can really see them properly, but hold on, if I get rid of that ticker off the bottom, it might help a little. Yeah, there they are there. Great idea with the wire rack. Yep, I was actually at Jim's, so I've always put those on the wire rack because of the coating on them. I don't want them to go soggy and the coating on them to stick to anything I set them on. But I was at Jim Only Slaggins barbecue class a few weeks back, and he rests nearly everything on a wire rack so that bark you've built up is not sitting in the juices that are coming out of it. Thought it was a genius idea, so I'm going to definitely try and do that a lot more. Keith Jackson says, James, perfect timing for you to do a live stream, but the rest of us are starving. Sorry, mate. I'll not eat them in front of you, sure. Ryan G says, what did I start the wings with? These ones were just started with the Plowboys Yardbird rub. The other ones were started with a mixture of plain flour, baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of the new salt and pepper rub from Smokey Carter. Emily, James can't see the wings because of the advert going on the bottom. I've removed it now, sorry. Right, we'll get these other wings done. They're the ones I'm really interested to give a try. So we'll have our bowl here with our soy sauce mixture in it. I'm going to chop these in. And give them a toss around. Again, 2 tablespoons might not sound like much, but you don't want this to really saturate them. It's just to give them a light glaze over the top. Yeah, so it's just giving them a little bit of a shine. Oh, smell amazing. And I'll tip those out into a bowl. So, got a wee bit on my thumb, tastes good. I'm going to see if I can get this up a bit closer. You won't be able to hear me here. Going pretty crispy, just enough to glaze over them. You can see a few little bits of chili and stuff in there, poke it through from the rub. Don't know if you heard a word of that, what I just said. I'm having words with him for not sharing that before. What do you mean, Phil? Nicholas, eat them. You really want to sit here and watch me eating wings? But I'm going to try these ones. These are the ones that I really want to know if they've actually worked or not. So they've stayed crispy, even though we have the coating over the top of them. I've never left a cooked wing alone for more than 39 seconds. This is torture, James. It's alright, I'm just going to keep torturing you then, if that's what you want. James, I might just have to fire up the barbecue. I was going to wait until tomorrow. Like fun while the sun is shining. Definitely go for it. Look crispy, nice mate, looks amazing, look fantastic. Thank you. Doesn't matter what they look like. That's for Instagram only. It matters what they taste like. So here goes nothing. I don't want to eat too close to this microphone because it's so sensitive. Saltiness is there. Alright. Can't believe I'm sitting here with you lot just watching me eat chicken wings. Up close for the crunch. Jim, it's not an ASMR video, mate. Just creep everybody out. Right. The verdict is, I'm gonna say solid B plus. There's room for improvement. One, nowhere near enough chili. So next time, hold on. Right, next time, more chili. That was hot chili powder, about a teaspoon of it. So I'm thinking either chili flakes in there too, or maybe a little bit of finely chopped fresh chili. Saltiness is good. If anything, I would tail it back. That was sort of 2 large pinches of sea salt. I would probably go back to 1 pinch. Yeah, but I think we're on to a winner. So looks great. They tasted good. That it actually worked. I'm quite surprised it did work. But they were definitely good. Keith Jackson, the suspense. So we're going solid B plus. COVID-19 hand wash break. It's coming at some point, isn't it? So let me know. Do you want me to do a proper video on these once I tweak the recipe a little bit? They are something I've had in my head for a little while. I have another idea of how they might work, so I might try that as well at some point. I won't get you guys to watch on. I'll try that. It's actually with the dry seasoning rather than tossing them in that soy sauce mixture. I'm pretty sure, I'm going to try this as well, that all the flavours are in this rub that you need to make salt and chili chicken, like the traditional Chinese takeaway. So if you haven't got it yet, Hard Carter was on the last live stream we done, and he says they're still sending out rubs and stuff, so get on. They have 4 new rubs they've just released, so if you guys need to try anything, definitely recommend that. So I'm going to try some with just that, and then this other method I have, and we'll see how it goes from there. So I think we are at the end. I'm not going to sit here and eat the whole bowl of wings in front of you. So let me know in the comments if you want to see the video. Chris Robb, definitely do a video. Need these in my life. Well, if you can get over here quick enough, I'll leave them on the doorstep and we can do a contactless handover of wings, certainly. Let's see. So that was definitely good crack. I don't think anything went horribly wrong during the live stream. Dutchy, everyone in lockdown, using freezer stock up. Do a cook, take a picture, post on social media with freezer raid. So Dutchy's doing this, he's sort of raiding his freezer, looking at different bits you can cook with what you have, so you can go and check that out. So Ted says, would love to see a comparison video with the different coatings, combinations of flour, rubs. Yep, so there's a video on my channel where I actually did this version of wings. So I did them with just this rub, and then a flour with this rub in it, and I done them the exact same way and sauced them both, and the one that was the winner was the one with the flour on it with this rub in it and this sauce on it. Again, that's hot wings. If you don't really like hotness, we need to go for something a bit more traditional barbecue wing, but I'll maybe move that same principle over and we'll try it with these here to see what the winner is. Always a good excuse to try wings. What's everybody else saying? Phil, definitely a future video recipe. No problem, Phil. Keith Jackson, James, what wood chips chunks do you use? I use a variety, really, what I can get my hand on. Today, that was I used apple chunks from. They were just the Weber apple chunks. I only really done that because I ran out. Normally, I use Smokewood Shack chunks, and I actually went on last night and ordered. They do a batch of like 4 or 5 different flavors, so they're on their way out to me hopefully pretty soon. I know Amazon have sort of playing about with non-essential deliveries, but who are they to decide what wood chunks are non-essential? So definitely check out Smokewood Shack. There's some great flavors. Phil, a cracking live stream, my first one, really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's great crack doing them. I love going through the comments and stuff. I would love to do it it's kind of hard to do it while cooking, keeping an eye out for wings, and chatting to you guys and trying to keep track of where I've left off. So apologies if you have asked me something and I've missed it. I have tried my best to keep an eye on it. Smoking out, great stream, James. Thanks. Over to you, mate. I will be tuning in at 4 o'clock to watch yours. Ted, cheers, James. Really enjoyed this, mate. Looking forward to the next one. There will be more, I promise. I really enjoy doing them. So, only slagging. Really enjoyed the live stream, mate. Do more. I'll try. That's the worst thing, but weather dependent and neighbour dependent. Next door neighbour decides to cut his grass, you wouldn't hear a word I'm saying. Stuart, supermarket bought wings or from the butchers? Great question. I got some from the butchers. I cooked half of them to do those chicken wing nachos, and I froze the other half. Then I also got some from the supermarket. These are Tesco's chicken wings. Now what I will say is they didn't deliver their normal chicken wings. Tesco's chicken wings aren't bad. They're usually pretty decent meaty wings. But the ones they sent this time were already cut up. They weren't the full wing. But in times like these, you take what you're given. They still taste pretty damn good. So, Ted, you need a sidekick to read your comments. Yes, anybody wants to apply for the moderator job, please let me know. I can get you in there. Right. So again, thanks everybody. If you want to go back through, I'll maybe go back into the live stream and post some of the ingredients for this, and you can try them out for yourself, and then I'll do my proper comparison video. But I think we're going to call it from there. Remember, if you want to try out that mini course I put together, go to barbechoo.com/Q-tip and you can sign up there. And as always, subscribe to the channel, and then if I do any more of these, I'll give you guys a shout and post it out, and you can join in. It's been great having you in the comments and having somebody to chat to. I know I haven't left the house in over a week now, so it's great seeing all you guys. Okay, thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.